How's it going, everyone? We're here to check out some really cool stuff on the Ox 2 branch. So this is the pre-staging, pretty much. So the stuff that you see today mostly will not be something you'll see in December. There's definitely this ice sculpture thing, which probably is part of the December update, but the shields and the siege mechanics and the siege weapons and all that kind of stuff is definitely still much in the works, and Alistair said do not expect to see them in December, and of course that's going to be a next year thing. So before we get into that, let's look at a couple little things. First thing up we have over here is this little plushie guy. And so this is another YooTooz promotion where you buy the real plushie and you get the same item in-game as a little plushie. It's basically a Pookie Bear, gives 100% comfort. There is what it looks like in-game as promised, guys. So let's check out the ice sculpture. This is a pretty cool thing. You place it down. No idea what the crafting and all that stuff is going to be of it yet, but you can check it out, and it basically gives you this block on a box. And then what you can do is go ahead and pull out a jackhammer, or I believe a chainsaw. And actually, let's see, I want to actually grab the chainsaw and try that because I completely forgot to earlier, and we might as well check it out while mentioning. So let's see, does the chainsaw... No, chainsaw's not giving a dot. Okay, so you see this dot here, and as you hit, you actually make a point. And you can make this point go all the way through, but as you can see, it kind of curved down, so you want to really be careful kind of with what you're doing. But, you know, you can carve away entire sections. You can do kind of, you know, if you do it just a brief tap, you can kind of do like a design, you know, kind of thing like that. And yeah, you can just kind of do whatever you want to eliminate an entire area of the ice sculpture, and you can do whatever you want with it. I'm definitely not an ice sculptor, so I'm very excited to see what people do with this. There is an option here where you can lock the edits or unlock the edits. Holding E doesn't do anything else so far, so I don't know if you can pick it back up and it saves. Oops. There we go. So that is something that is quite cool. At least, you know, you can save your progress. Just make sure that, you know, you lock it if you don't want someone messing with it. So there you go. That is going to be the ice sculpture so far. So we'll see if more comes of that and so forth. Also, hey, there is a birthday coming up for Russ, so happy 11th birthday. And as always, there is a birthday cake that you can bash people right on in with. So moving on from all of that, we now have shields. That's right, shields have finally made their way into Rust, so to say. Now, there was mention saying that these are something that are going to be set up also with a primitive game type. I don't know if that means only exclusively to the primitive game type, or if they'll also eventually, or come at the same time, to the base game. Same thing with the siege weapons, but we'll just see. But right now there's 4 types of shields, and right now they don't really have any kind of great information on them. They all pretty much just have a certain damage protection, and then they all have the same crafting recipe, and they all require workbench too, which I don't think that's going to stay in the end. But as you can see, it takes up your backpack slot, so you cannot have a backpack on while you're using a shield. Also, when the shield is on your back, it does give that 30 extra protection on your back, which is nice, or, you know, whatever percent the actual shield itself does. So when you pull it out, as you can see, it basically disables your right click. And right click is going to pull up your shield, and now you only have your left click, which means you can only use weapons and tools and so forth that are only one-handed. So let's go ahead and take a look over here, and we've got the other shields, which we'll be checking out shortly, and then we have everything so far that seems to work with it. So you've got, you know, bone club, bone knives, spears, you've got the machete and the salvage sword, nail gun, all the pistols, and then you've got most of the hatchets, including one skin, but it looks like the other hatchet skins aren't done yet, which, I mean, that's not a big deal. I noticed the water pistol doesn't, as well as the shovel, but the shovel's not really implemented, so that's not really a big deal. A few other things I noticed missing: the skinning knife does not allow you to have a shield out. Neither does a hammer, but that may be by function. I don't know, it might be kind of cool to use a shield to sneak up and try to repair something. I think that would be a cool strategy. What do you guys feel about that? And then there are some one-handed pickaxes. So the stone pickaxe is one-handed, just like the actual hatchet, but I noticed no pickaxes seem to be able to be out with the shield, so that may be by function. They just disabled all pickaxes. Even though this is one-handed, and the skins on these two metal ones actually make them one-handed as well, animation-wise. So that's this kind of thing to, again, it could all change. This is still all very much so early in the stages. Figured we'd go ahead and pull out a sword, as that's a little more fun. Then we can also go ahead and take a look at what a weapon looks like there, and then let's take a look-see at our other shields. So as of right now, you've got 50% on the reinforced shield, then you've got 95% protection with the improvised shield, and 95 as well on the metal shield. Well, what's the difference between these two? Well, this one is more like a melee battle kind of protection shield, just like most bucklers are going to be, where these huge shields are more like a tower shield, and they're going to be protecting more of your body. If you crouch, it covers most of you kind of situation. More tactical, you're going to use it more that kind of situation. So, if we go ahead and just kind of take a look, you can see you got your sword going on, or you can go ahead and fire, but it is hip fire. As you see, remember, your aim down sights is going to be hold shield up, so you are going to be aiming down the sights for that. And then if we go ahead, we can change our next shield up, and you can see with the reinforced shield you have a lot less sight there. And if we go into a third person mode here, you can see that, you know, if you kind of crouch, the shield will cover a lot of you, but not completely all of you. So you still have to be kind of tactical about it with that. Then if we go ahead and pop back in, we can take a look at the buckler, or, you know, the improvised shield. And now you can see what I'm talking about, where it really is one of those things where it looks like it's going to function just like an actual buckler. You're going to have to aim it wherever they're swinging at you, and then you're going to have to do your swing and so forth. So this is definitely much more of a melee protection. I mean, if we take a look out here, it does not cover very much of the character. You know, we'll switch back to just the basic wooden shield again and show this aspect. You can see that covers a lot more of the character. And then if we switch to the reinforced one, that covers even a little bit more. Also, I love that Miracle Road one right there. Love the designs of these. They absolutely look so cool. And then, of course, lastly, we do have the big old shield. And look at this one. You've got some viewing holes. It looks proper rusty. I love it. I love it. You know, a lot of people probably want like a riot shield or something, but I think this really fits the game. And it definitely feels very tactical, you know, so to say. And if we go ahead and take a look-see, you'll see that this one probably covers the most of the player character. Has a pretty mean-looking look to it. And if we actually go into our third person again and crouch, you can see this does cover a lot of the player character. So that is definitely really fun. But I look forward to seeing how these get implemented and how they end up, you know, making their way into the game. Definitely seems like a fun thing. Also, if you're playing around on Ox Branch and you seem to not to be able to aim or shoot or anything, equip a one-handed weapon with a shield, pop it up once, and you should be able to use it again. That's one of the bugs. Also, I'm going to show you something in the F1 menu. If you are going to look at the ammunition, you'll notice there's a Ballista spear. The devs have said do not use this right now. It is broken, so ignore the one here. Do not load it. This is the reason my video is out so late to you guys. I started this in the morning. I was stuck in an endless crashing loop, tried multiple things to fix, and I just ended up wiping the server, relaunching new server, and starting the video from scratch again. So yeah, don't do that. It won't be fun. So no, another question is going to be, can you use a shield with heavy armor? And well, you most definitely can. So there is that answer. You can be a knight, literally. And then the next question is going to be, do the shields work on horseback? They most definitely do. I guess you could try some spear and shield shenanigans. Maybe eventually we'll get an actual javelin or something, right? That would be pretty fun. So, anyways, as of right now, when it comes to research, it looks like they all just have 125, so I don't think that's set. They're just set to the default workbench level 2, so you can't really do much going off of that when it comes to the shields. And like I said, their crafting costs are all the same, so that's not really something we can go off of right now either. And they do not show up in the tech tree in any way whatsoever. So, there's that. Let's go ahead and take a look then at our siege weapons. So this is pretty cool. We've got 4 different things so far. There's a catapult. It has 3 types of ammo: the boulder, the explosive ammo, and the incendiary ammo. And as you see stats here, the lethality is 225, can go about 8 meters, and it has a 20-second fuse and a 6-meter blast radius. Then you'll see that this keeps the 6-meter blast radius. It has a much longer fuse. The distance is about the same. The lethality, though, is 175, which is less, but explosive damage is 100. Then lastly, you have the incendiary, which has a 5-meter blast radius, a 100-second fuse length, and the about 50 lethality, but you know, the fire is continually adding damage. So those are really nice little setup for that so far. Then we also have a battering ram, which you can set up and literally just bust through some walls. There's a siege tower, which, hey, you know, we're building scaffolding, just literally roll on up with some. And then lastly, the ballista, which is still being very much so extra worked on. As you can see, the model isn't fully done, the icon's not done yet, and like I said, don't mess around with that other ammo at all. So let's start out with the catapult. I'm gonna grab that, and just to mention, its ammo does stack in 3s, so we'll take a stack of each. And these are gonna be interesting. You're gonna need to have a hammer in your inventory, and you'll see why here in a minute. And then we're gonna set up our catapult right over here, kind of facing the wall. You'll see that the bucket is facing at you, so you want to set it away from your target. So let's see here. I'm gonna be cooperative. There we go. That's well enough. And where is it? What's going on? Why does it have a hunt? No, that's why I said you need to have a hammer. Make sure you have the proper ingredients in your inventory. As you'll see, we are obviously missing something here. So I believe this one actually requires some high qual, if I'm not wrong. There we go. Smell frags and wood. It was smell frags and wood. We're just hitting the wrong area. This area does not do anything. Hitting the tire does. So never mind. There we go. And boom. So then you've got some actions, but first I really want to just appreciate these models. Okay. Look at that. I mean, it has that rusting down. I mean, look at the old pole, the telephone pole, the big old tub. I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff really going on with this one here. I love the looks of these. So anyways, if we go ahead, gotta hold E to reload it, or whatever your action key may be. Then there it is, it's set. You can then load up your ammo, and it's gonna be one at a time, as you can see there. Now that we've got it in, we can either push or pull the actual thing, but be careful because there's multiple meanings to pull. All right, so in the back here, push is literally going to be pushing it forward. All right, then over here, pull, that's pulling the lever. You don't want to do that. You want pull up here. Okay, so we want to maybe push it a little more this way. So let's see, push, 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 and then can we pull? And now we're dragging it, dragging it. Oh, we went too far. There we go. Rotating it, rotating it. Is that... That's better. All right, we're facing the wall now, I think. So now we can release it. Now, apparently you can also connect a horse to it, so let's go over here and grab our friend Horsey. I'm not sure if this is fully implemented yet, so we're gonna ride on over here. Oh, so, oh, wrong button. I don't have the delay on release there, so, but they're also working on horses being able to jump, which is really nice. So I think if we go ahead and put Horsey here, yep, okay, there it is. Back on up, and tow. And, oh man, look at this. That is really, really cool. I think I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this one right here. Look at that. That's just amazing. So, as you can see, this isn't fully, you know, textured up yet. But we got that. And now we can drag this thing around, which is really cool. But I guess we don't want to really mess with it. Alright, so we have turned around and we're re-angling it with the horse. You can actually sprint a little bit. That's about your sprint speed. And if we look back, we should be much more lined up with our wall. Alright. And fire! Boom! Alright. So let's see what one did. We go ahead and grab a hammer out and... okay. Interesting. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and reload. And let's put in some explosive around here. Boom! Alright, that sounds like something happened, right? That's gotta be. Hey, there we go. Alright, we got some damage. And it looks like it splashed all 4 walls. Did it go through? Looks like it does not splash through. So that's good. But, alright, there we go, there we go. So, I mean, that was pretty fun. Let's go ahead and reload it. Oh, that was weird. Reload it again. And put in a incendiary. Oh, that looks cool. Alright, yeah, and then it's basically about to roast my horse. Yeah, he's like, no, I don't want any of that. Please. Please, no. So there we have it, the basics of the catapult itself. So then, can you pick it up or anything after it's been, you know, put out? And you, well, so far the answer is there's no way to pack it back up. So I don't know if you can maybe destroy it or if you just leave it for it to decay. It does only have 1,000 HP so far. We'll just have to see how that all goes. Or maybe you can just store it inside your compound walls. But one way or another, I don't think this thing is going to actually fit through a gate quite. So, yeah. But we're going to go ahead and back this out of the way and show you the next siege weapon. Alright, so let's check out the Battering Ram next. And we're just gonna go ahead and like put this one, prop it on up. As you'll see, again, it faces you, as that's a gate. So you'll want to, once again, kind of try and back up against your target and aim it properly. And just like before, you're gonna need to build it up. It's gonna cost you more fragments and wood, so far is what it looks like. And boom, look at this thing. I love it. It's just so cool. So you don't need this extra excavator thing. I think that's just kind of a side thing. It does need some fuel, so we're gonna have to put some fuel in there. It has a working back ramp for your troops to go ahead and load on in. And yeah, this thing's pretty cool. So you can, of course, jump on in here, turns on, and then you've got use for the ram, or you can drive it back or forth. As you see, it is motorized on its own. So we're up against the wall. Boom! There's that battering ram. And again. You do want to periodically check because it does take damage. So you are going to need some high qual, and right after I put away the high qual, we need... So there's your high qual to repair your battering ram, jump back in, and start right back up. Now this thing does tear through stone pretty well, I have to say. And there we are, boom, right to their TC. But yeah, I mean, this thing is completely rust. I mean, look at it. It is just beautiful. And there's so many little things to discover on it. The way this is built is just absolutely so cool. So there it is, everyone. The Battering Ram, as of so far. Alright, next up we're going to check out that siege tower. So we've got ourselves a nice little high external wall over here. Imagine there's a juicy compound on the other side. Once again, keep in mind that it faces this way. Always your back to your target as of right now, or you can rotate it pressing R. That is up to you, whatever is easier, but by default it is going to be facing away from you. So you're going to want the ramps to face you if you're going to be placing it this way, and we will place it right here. Again, you're going to need to now build it up. You gotta hit that right angle, kind of there in the middle. There it goes. And boom, it is done. Look at that thing in its gloriousness. Love it. It even has a tarp so you don't get, you know, like wet. So you can then push this thing into better positioning. There you go. You also can do pull and so forth, which means this can also be pulled by a horse. Then once you're here, you can hop right in and you can deploy at several different heights. So if you check out this one, it's not quite right. So you probably want to close that back up. And there's lots of gaps people can shoot at you through, so do keep that in mind. Our next one is just about over the high external wall, just perfectly right there. Then if we go up to our very, very top, this should get you able to jump onto the top of a high external gate, should you want to, and jump back down to another level again, if you leave that open. So that is very, very cool. Now, it does look like there isn't any kind of way to lock this, so anyone can then pretty much use this tower once you've put it up here. And as far as health, it has 1000 HP. That seems to be the default for them right now, but I don't know how, you know, that will last. Right now, the crafting recipes and all that kind of stuff is just default for them. There's, you know, just random junk. That's not at all what they're going to stay out to be. I also love that they've got some tire shredders here on the side. Very much love it. I hope we can eventually tow these behind a vehicle as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the last one, which is the in-progress Ballista. Alright, so here is the Ballista. As you'll see, the model is still being worked on. There it is. Now again, warning, do not use the messed up armor or ammo like I did. The two that are safe are going to be the fire bolt and the regular ballista bolt, okay? So if we go over and we mount it, you will see that we can then reload by holding R. It'll put a bolt in, and we're going to hit that plushie. Oh, exploded. All right. And then, I don't know how actually to change ammo, to be honest. I don't know if that's actually a function yet, but you get the idea of it. Horsey, I'm sorry. Oh, we missed. And I don't, why are we cutting through this so much? There we go. All right, reload. Reload. And goodbye, horsey. So there is that. A very, very interesting little thing. to check out, but I think it is quite cool. There are some siege weapons in Rust. Which one are you guys the most excited for? Do you want this in the normal game type? Do you only want these in, you know, let's say primitive? Or would you like the shields in both, but not the siege weapons? Sound off in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel. And yeah, I believe the Ballista will also eventually be able to be placed on top of buildings. As of right now, it wasn't letting me. But that is one thing to keep in consideration there. But there we have it, everyone. We do have a few cool things to check out before the video is finished. Some stuff from Hackweek. So let's go ahead and check all that out. Alright, so we got a bunch of Hackweek projects, and they all are from Tom's X account. And the first thing up is an art easel, which I think a lot of the painters in Rust, which there are a ton of, would absolutely love. So this is just one of the little projects. It's a Hackweek project. I don't know when it will make it into the game or if it ever will. But hey, as it says on the screen, it works. So hey, sound off. How do you guys feel about an easel? Then we have ourselves some new targets, I guess, being worked on. There's a deployable target, and you can actually get like damage numbers off of these, which is really cool. And then kind of like a little melee target. Definitely very, very cool. You can do some aim training on these. Again, it is Hackweek, so don't know when it will come in. Last but not least, my personal favorite, the chicken coop. So again, this could be something that comes in eventually or not, but basically I guess the idea behind it is you put a coop down and then you would be able to have your chickens in and around it, and they could breed and produce resources. And then I guess what you would do is put down some lines similar to how you do the traps and kind of put like a little fence down for them. So that seems very interesting. I'm not quite sure how that will all work out, but it would be very cool to see. I'd like to see definitely more in animal farming in the game. How about you? But I believe that is going to do it, everybody, for now. There's a lot of stuff in the works, like the jungle biome, a jungle monument, and snakes, and all sorts of other stuff, but none of that stuff is really previewable right now. This is what we can show you. I hope you enjoyed checking it all out with me, and sound off down in the comment section below what you are looking forward to the most. As always, thanks for watching, and stay rusty.